I was hoping that this area would create the opportunity for dialogue and exchange on the situation in Bosnia and Herzegovina. I have now listened to a very long monologue full of personal attacks against the High Representative. Let me just say, and I'm sure that many will share that, I do not think that this is how the Security Council should be discussing. We can do better. I have basically two remarks to make. The first message I have is a message on our commitment. And the second one is questions on the future of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I believe that the first one, our commitment, is important, having heard what I just heard. So let me say that 25 years after the signing of the peace agreement in Dayton, we clearly remain committed to a credible EU perspective for Bosnia and Herzegovina and all Western Balkan countries. And we continue to believe this is crucial for stability and prosperity in the region and beyond. Then, dear Valentina Inzka, we thank the High Representative for his work on the ground in creating peace and supporting reconciliation between the different parts of the Bosnian society. We maintain our full support to you and to your office. We welcome the work of the Constitutional Court of Bosnia and Herzegovina and its international judges. We believe that their experience is essential in the setup of the court in line with the Dayton Agreement until there is a viable and sustainable alternative in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Verbal attacks and defamatory language against the court and its judges must not be tolerated. The future of Bosnia and Herzegovina is the road to the European Union. Reforms on a prosperous future are urgently needed. The 14 key priorities laid out by the European Commission last year in response to Bosnia and Herzegovina's membership application provide a clear roadmap. One last commitment: the Peace Implementation Council Steering Board and the Security Council have repeatedly expressed their commitment to Bosnia and Herzegovina's territorial integrity and to its structure as a single and sovereign state. We stand by this commitment. Against the backdrop of today's list of briefers and against the backdrop of how this discussion has been going so far, we would like to stress the importance of cooperation with elected government representatives. Now, I said I have a message on our commitment and I have questions on the future. On these questions, it is an alarming development, we believe, that young and well-educated people are frustrated and leaving the country in great numbers, looking for opportunities elsewhere. Recent studies show that as many as 71% of young people in the Western Balkans are considering to leave their countries. And these studies show that these young people point to deficits in the education, in health or social security systems, to a lack of merit-based recruitment, or to corruption. As a result, we see significant brain drain accelerated by the lack of good governance and of the political will to fight organized crime and nepotism. This, we believe, is highly detrimental to economic growth, innovation, and to building a stable and prosperous country. Political leaders in Bosnia and Herzegovina need to think about the future they want for their country and their people and make the implementation of these reforms their top priority. We regret that even 25 years after the conflict, the country is still deeply divided along ethnic lines. We are very concerned about the divisive, negative rhetoric that deepens existing divisions and that makes reconciliation in Bosnia and Herzegovina increasingly difficult. And I think we have just seen some of that. We believe that all political actors should make reconciliation a top priority. We all remember this year we solemnly commemorated the 25th anniversary of the genocide in Srebrenica. Germany's federal president, Frank-Walter Steinmeier, pointed out that remembering does not make us immune against wrongdoing, and that the evil spirits are appearing in a new guise today. This is also true for Germany. It's true in many places. The genocide in Srebrenica reminds us to be more vigilant in our daily lives and to take a more decisive stance against revisionism, nationalism, and all kinds of racism. It is unacceptable that convicted war criminals are glorified, and here I'm not speaking about Germany, but I'm speaking about Bosnia and Herzegovina. The recent adoption of the revised national war crimes strategy was a very important and positive step in the right direction. 25 years after Dayton, it's high time for Bosnia and Herzegovina to find new ways of coping with its past and coming to genuine reconciliation between its peoples. Let me make a remark on elections. We welcome that the local elections on the 15th of November were held in a peaceful manner. We now hope for successful elections in Mostar on the 20th of December. This is an important date. It's the first local election in the city in 12 years. It's clear the election environment should be further improved. The reform of the election law is an urgent issue, in particular with regard to the implementation of the Sejdic-Finci ruling of the European Court of Human Rights. It is high time that all citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina can equally take part in political life of the country. Let me conclude by saying Bosnia and Herzegovina is held back by unresolved blockades of central government institutions, as well as the often dysfunctional relations between institutions and government representatives, which are now exacerbated by the health emergency. The working climate, the political atmosphere in Bosnia and Herzegovina needs to be improved. Negative and inciting rhetoric must stop. Leaders need to come together to change things for the better. Please allow me to end by asking a question to Mr. Dodik. I don't know whether he is still with us, but the question is what you will do in order to end glorification of convicted war criminals in the Republika Srpska. Thank you very much.
I thank Germany for its statement that now